Coming from CNBC and frankly from reality itself, SpaceX short sellers are running out of bullets as stock rebounds more than 40% off of the low. Hallelujah! Elon Musk was correct. And when you bet against Elon Musk, you are going to be destroyed. So I just think this is kind of an interesting story in the technology world, just to show how the technology stack, the technology products, the technology business doesn't really have a damn thing to do with the stock price. And this is why you should be careful if you're going to be an investor in the tech space, especially in the 2026 era. So I have a lot of people come up to me and they're like, Eli, are we in an AI bubble? Should I sell my Nvidia stocks? And what I always tell them is, yes, we are in an AI bubble, and I am not going to tell you what stocks to buy or what stocks to sell, because these two things have nothing to do with each other. And I think this is where a lot of people run into problems in the technology world, right? They see what's going on with the technology, they see what's going on in the realm of business. They say, I have an insider's understanding of what's going on in technology, and so therefore I'm going to buy or short stocks, and then they get eviscerated because reality doesn't actually care about the tech stack. If you look at SpaceX, right? SpaceX IPO'd at $135 a share for a $1.77 trillion valuation, based basically entirely off of artificial intelligence. Oh, you thought a company called SpaceX had a damn thing to do with space? Au contraire, mon frère, right? If you look at the revenue for SpaceX, SpaceX's space launch revenue for last year, 2025, was about $4.1 billion. GameStop, the ultimate bit of meme companies, their revenue for 2025 was $3.6 billion. So yes, SpaceX did make more money off of space launches than GameStop did off of selling video games, but not that much more. That much more. No, nobody is saying, well, if SpaceX is worth $1.77 trillion and you look at the numbers, I mean, that means GameStop should be worth $1 trillion, right? No, nobody is saying that, right? But if you look at it, right, SpaceX, right, $4.1 billion off of revenue off of space launches, somewhere around $10 billion, $11 billion of revenue off of Starlink. But you think about SpaceX and you think, oh, this is a space company. And the thing is that Elon Musk has actually pivoted it to be an AI company. So all the valuation, right? A $1.77 trillion IPO isn't based off of what you would think SpaceX would be. It is based off of it being an artificial intelligence company, right? First day of sales of the stock, the low for buying in was $150 a share. So it popped $15 between the IPO strike price and simply going on the open market, shot all the way up to $225 a share within a few days, and then plummeted and plummeted and plummeted and plummeted and plummeted all the way down to $104 a share. It was literally less than 50% of what it had been worth a couple of weeks previously. And one of the interesting things with the stock market too is that SpaceX basically had tried to goose the value of their shares by being included in the NASDAQ 100. So two weeks after they IPO'd, they were included in the NASDAQ 100. I did not like this. I did not agree with it. I thought it was a really bad thing. But to be clear, I also figured it would goose the price of the stock. But the price of the stock continued to fall until, for some reason, when the lockups expired. So basically, the employees for SpaceX, 2 days after their SpaceX's first earnings call, were allowed to start cashing out. So there were about 550 million shares available when the stock IPO'd. When this first investment period expired, or the lockup expired, basically that added something like 960 million new shares to the market. So basically, there were triple the amount of shares on the open market once August 6th rolled around. And so the expectation there would be, right? What would you think? If 3 times the number of shares were on the open market, what do you think would happen to the value of the stock? Wouldn't you think the price of the stock would go down? You would be incorrect. You would be incorrect. You would think you were living in some other year than 2026. No, a crap ton more of the shares hit the open market, and the stock has gone up and up and up and up. Went past the $135 IPO price, got up to about $145 a share as of today. I just looked, it's about $142 a share. And so the issue is for the short sellers is basically the idea is that you make money off of how low the price of the stock will go. The issue that you run into is if the stock goes up in price, you're then responsible for that. So if it goes down, so if it goes from $135 to $125 a share, and you exit your short position, that means you earn $10 a share. If it goes from $135 a share to, let's say, $155 a share, it means you owe $20 per share. And so the issue is for a lot of these short sellers, it seemed, seemed like a good bet. Come on now, I'll tell. People say, Eli, you never admit when you're wrong. Oh, motherfucker, you just ain't listening. I admit when I'm wrong all the time. Look, this is why I don't do this kind of investment. Have I told you about S&P 500 index funds? They're fucking amazing. They're amazing. Anyways, right? So again, there's a lot of short sellers out there. I would have thought that was a pretty good short position. SpaceX, the value of the shares gotta go down, right? And no, again, they've gone up, and so you have a lot of short sellers now. They're in these positions, and one of the big concerns is where is the price of the stock going to go? So that's one of the things I talk about when you're dealing with investors, right? We talk about optics, right? We talk about the whole disaster of the AI washing layoffs, right? So all of these technology companies out there are laying off people, and they say it's because of AI. It has not a goddamn thing to do with AI, but they say it has to do with AI because they don't really want to tell the investor that they're laying off simply because they overhired people, right, during the past 5 years. So they say it's AI, right? It's AI washing the optics, right? It's not about what the company is actually doing. It's not about so many things. It's about the story of the company. Where I do get concerned for the short sellers, and where the short sellers may be so screwed right now, is so Anthropic. Oh my fucking Christ. So Anthropic's IPO is coming up, right? And I've been talking about Anthropic's IPO for a while, and also talking about how that's going to be a damn disaster. It will be a disaster. It may be a time delayed disaster, but this is going to be a disaster. Anyways, one of the things I talked about before is that during Anthropic's last round of funding, they were valued at like $960 billion. So, right, OpenAI wants to IPO at $1 trillion. And one of the things that I argued for Anthropic is I actually didn't know if they could try to IPO for $1 trillion, because if the last round of investors invested at $960 billion valuation, right, that round of investors wants to see a pop. They want to see a return for the investments that they put in. And, a couple of percentage points of pop isn't going to be something interesting. So one of the things I talked about before is Jesus Christ, I am a naive. I am such a naive little geek sometimes, because I was like, I just can't imagine them being able to IPO for $1 trillion, or saying they're going to IPO for $1 trillion. You say you've heard me. You've been listening for a while. I'm like, they've got to IPO for 1.1. I don't know how they're going to push it, but I bet the investors would like $1.2 trillion valuation. Like, I'm sitting here and I'm like, I can't believe these words are coming out of my mouth. But it's like, yeah, I guess Anthropic would have to try for a $1.2 trillion valuation. Oh no, sweet summer child of mine. They ain't going for $1.2 trillion valuation. Man, that is so June 2026. We are August 2026. They are going for a $2 trillion valuation. Why? Because apparently in the future, like they're not doing profit anymore. Not doing revenue anymore. They're doing ARR. Well, they're not even doing ARR anymore. So annualized recurring revenue. If I make $10 billion this month, this means if I had a year of this months, I make $120 billion. That's what ARR is. Again, don't get me wrong. These numbers are useful for many things. These numbers are useful for projection into the future, for planning purposes, that type of thing. Shouldn't be this focused for investment. But anyways, ARR isn't even good enough, right? Remember Charlie Munger? Charlie Munger said EBITDA. EBITDA was a bullshit metric. I miss EBITDA. I miss EBITDA. All right. So anyway, then they went to ARR, annualized recurring revenue, and now for Anthropic, because you look at it and you're like, how in God's name can this company be worth $2 trillion? And I'm not saying they're not worth anything, but how are they worth $2 trillion? And how they get to a $2 trillion valuation is not off of ARR; it's off of future ARR. Don't you understand what their ARR will be in 2 years? You're like, what? What are we even talking about anymore, boys and girls? So yeah, they want a $2 trillion IPO valuation based off of what their ARR, which is a bullshit metric, will be in the future. Can you imagine what this bullshit is gonna be 2 years from now? Really stinky? Really stinky? Anyway, so the interesting thing to be thinking about with the short sellers for SpaceX at this point in time is well, if Anthropic is worth $2 trillion, and because that's where it always kind of flips to. Like all of a sudden now Anthropic is worth $2 trillion. And so if Anthropic is worth $2 trillion, don't you think this AI company, that is run by Elon Musk should be worth more than Anthropic? I mean, that only makes sense. It only makes sense. It only. So yeah, I do actually think the short sellers are. It's gonna be bad. It's gonna be so bad for the short sellers, and then it's gonna be bad for all of us when all this stuff goes boom. Because none of this crap makes a damn bit of sense from the business world or anything else. And so this is why you should be careful in the investment world. I've had a lot of very smart friends. I've had a lot of exceedingly smart friends that got totally screwed investing. Again, I think about this with my father. My father gave me the perfect lesson for investing. So he likes investing. He likes day trading or whatever else. And I have my stepmother, right? And he was talking about my stepmother. And so they both had their PhDs. To be clear, both these people had their PhDs. My stepmother would take her money and put it into an S&P 500 account and basically never think about it ever again. And to be clear with this, do you know what her PhD was actually in? Now that I think about it, economics. Her PhD was in economics. She took her money, dumped it into an S&P 500, walked the fuck away from it. My father, PhD in engineering, so he understands how systems work. Anyways, he would do the day trading thing. And oh my God, he would, and yeah, she had more money than he did. True story. He spent so much time picking the perfect stocks while she was sipping a cup of coffee. And at the end of the day, she ended up with significantly more money than he did. And he admitted it too. He admitted it. He was like, Eli, the reason I do this is because I find this to be fun. I find this to be interesting. But if you really care about money, she's probably doing it better. So I bring all this stuff up just because I've seen a lot of smart people out there. Again, PhD, master's degree, engineer type people. They get in the stock market and they get absolutely whomped. Simply because, to be clear, a lot of this doesn't make sense. All right, that one thing that the market can stay irrational longer than you can stay solvent. That is a real thing out there. And so I think one of the big things to be thinking about when you look at the economy and stock prices and all this kind of thing is not. Again, you're going to invest in what you're going to invest in, whatever else. I think one of the big things to be thinking about though is with your career, right? We all know where this is going. We all know where this is going. Is it going to be 2 days from now? Is it going to be a year from now? That's basically the question. Again, when the dot-com bust happened, why did it happen at that particular time? When the Great Recession happened, where Bear Stearns fell, why did it happen at that particular time? Trying to pick stocks and all that kind of thing can be very difficult, but you understand the path that we're going down, right? That's one of the things I always argue. When people come to me for advice or mentorship, I try to give them multi-year plans. We have an idea of where shit's going over a 3-year time span. I can't tell you exactly what's going to happen in a week or 6 months or 18 months from now, but we know over 3 years, we get an idea of where everything is going. And so I think with a lot of this kind of stuff, that's where you need to start assessing for your career, for your professional development, where do you think all of this stuff fleshes out over a few year time frame? Because yeah, I mean, it's just dumb. This shit is so dumb. Normies, go the fuck home. Normies screw everything up. That's the problem. That's the problem. Look. I don't try to be racist, but a fucking normie walks into your server room. You know shit's gonna blow up, right? Normie walks in, entire fucking racks of servers shut down for some fucking reason. Why did it shut down for some fucking reason? Because they needed to plug in their phone charger, and they're like, I'll just pull this plug. Ah! And then they're like, why are you mad at it? You're prejudiced against the normies. Like, I'm sorry, it's true. It's true. I have PTSD from normies. Anywho, so what do you think about this? What do you think about the short sellers getting screwed on SpaceX? Do you think SpaceX is gonna go up? Look, come on now. If Anthropic is worth $2 trillion, does it really make sense that an Elon Musk company should be under the value of Anthropic? I mean, don't ask questions like what is the actual value of the product or usefulness of the product or what the competitive environment looks like or anything like that. Don't ask any of those questions. The question you got to ask yourself is, doesn't it make sense that SpaceX, an Elon Musk company, should be worth multiples of what a fucking Dario company should be? Have you seen Dario? You look at fucking Dario, you look at fucking Elon Musk. Whose AI company should be worth more money? And that's how the shit's all going to be decided. So anyways, what do you think about this? What do you think about the short sellers getting eviscerated over SpaceX? I don't know. Do you think this stuff can get stupider? Do you wake up every day going, well, at least I know it can't get any stupider than yesterday? And then you're like, fuck. You forgot it was 2026. You forgot it was 2026. I don't know. Put your thoughts down below. And do remember with all this, OpenAI still has to IPO too. We keep forgetting about OpenAI anymore. Who are they? Oh yeah, the also ran. They've still got an IPO. Christ. I don't know. Put your thoughts down below. If you like these episodes, do remember they're on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts. Link is down below. If you want to follow me on LinkedIn, there's a link down there too. With that, see y'all later.